which are being offered, which I'll come to, which will be there in the next few slides. Then model number 3 is private developers on land under acquisition. So there are large number of lands which are under acquisition, where also we have what we are saying is that any big developer, if he wants to set up, wants to take 50 acres, 100 acres or so, then we will acquire that land specifically for his project, and he will have to pay cost of acquisition plus 10% of overhead charges. So some developers have now selected some lands, and we are going to start this acquisition process for only, this is meant only for the affordable housing. And also some lands which are already under acquisition, there also we are allowing them to be used for affordable housing. That also is now 52% in all this land, 52% land is to be used for EWS, LIG, MIG-A as per model number 2, and 48% he can use for the higher categories. Model number 4 is government land. So wherever we have government land, we have offered that to private developers, and the process that we have adopted is that it is a bidding process. The government land is offered through open bidding process, but he doesn't have to pay any price for the land. The bidding parameter is number of flats. Whosoever offers maximum number of flats, he is offered that land. So we got a very good project in Jodhpur and also one in Kota, which are under construction in this model, model number 4. Model number 5 is slum housing. It is again on public-private partnership model. So as I mentioned, we have come up with a new policy, and it is the integration of RAY and public-private partnership. So slums located on government land as well as private land, both type of slums, they can be taken up for redevelopment, and we are also adopting Swiss challenge model. Supposing some developer, he comes up with a project for a particular slum, and he also offers us a particular price for that in terms of land. So we will then invite bids on that, but he will have the first right of refusal. Developer who makes the project, gives his offer to government, will have the first right of refusal after bids have been invited. Here also we are giving FAR 4 and commercial 10%. High rise is permitted, and also TDR is also permitted here. Now the other incentive that we are giving, one is FAR double of the permissible FAR we are giving, which is almost 3.6, 3.7 FAR we are giving, and facility of TDR, because the entire FAR, what we have seen is that it cannot be consumed on that project. So he has to use that FAR, so we are allowing that as a TDR. He can sell in the market. So that policy we have recently issued. Then there is a complete waiver of external development charges, building plan approval fees, and conversion charges. All the charges, they are completely waived off. No charge to be paid. Commercial use is allowed up to 10% of the plot area, and there is a fast track approval within 30 days. The entire powers of the state government, they have been delegated to the local bodies. Land use, conversion, building plan, the layout plan, building plan approval, everything the local body has to do. Buyback of the flats, as I mentioned, at a predetermined price of 750, now it has been increased to 850. But for MIG-A, it is 1000 rupees. So we are buying these flats at this price, and the rest of the land he can use for his other purposes. Now, the costing. Land cost, we are assuming 0. Because land cost, if we include that, then it becomes very difficult. It is not affordable in that sense. Ceiling cost of EWS flats was 2.40 lakhs. Now it is 2.75 because 850 is the per square feet. Then LIG is 4.25 now, and super built up area EWS is 325, 2 rooms, kitchen, etc. LIG is 500, MIG-A is 700 square foot, and stamp duty for EWS flat is only 10 rupees. Earlier it was 8%, and stamp duty for LIG flat is only 25 rupees. So the buyer has to pay just a very token amount on account of stamp duty. Then interest subsidy of 5%, as has been mentioned here, ISHUP scheme that we are making use of through the banks up to 1 lakh loan. Now this limit is being revised to 5 lakh. Then subsidy of 12,500 per flat is being given by Government of India under affordable housing in partnership. So Government of India has assured us that they will be giving us up to 50,000. So that will happen, I think, soon. But so far they have given us 12,500, and this money also we are passing on to the beneficiary, to the applicant. Now eligibility criteria we have kept for the developers. Some experience he should have in the building construction. Some net worth criteria is there, 3 years, etc. But these are not difficult ones. Most of the developers, they come under this criteria. Joint ventures are allowed. Then site selection, because each of these sites, they have to be carefully selected, the private builder sites. So we deputed a team for that, and we have to see these things like it should be a proper approach, availability of local transport, or at least possibility of a local transport. Then water and electricity, this is very important. Primary school in the near vicinity and primary health center nearby. So these we by and large try to see that these things are available so that the project is livable and there is not much of a problem to the inhabitants. Then what he has to provide within that scheme, apart from the dwelling units, it has to be an STP also, wastewater recycling, park 5% of the total built up area as a park. We are providing parking only for 2-wheelers, for EWS LIG and 4-wheelers for MIGA. So parking norms have been drastically relaxed here, because if we keep the normal parking norms, then these projects become unviable. So we have relaxed the parking norms. Then livelihood center, 1% of the total built up area, and also this SJSRY, Swarn Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana, we are trying to set up some training unit there under this scheme in the livelihood center. Time allowed for completion of the project, 200 flats 1 year, 400 2 years, 600 3 years, and there is a third party inspection for quality assurance. Quality is very important because many times compromise is made in quality. So we are making sure that the quality is up to the mark, and for that we have involved our engineering colleges. Like in Jaipur we have the Malviya MNIT, and Jodhpur also we have engineering college. So these have been involved, and somewhere we have involved the private consultants also to check the quality, and each developer has to have a lab at the site where the material can be tested. Any developer who is able to construct houses within this time frame, he will get 0.5 extra FAR TDR. So that also incentive we are giving here. Financing model in the policy. As I said, RAVIL is the nodal agency, Rajasthan Awas Vikas and Infrastructure Limited.